Hi guys, Chuck here with another Eden Crafters video. Um, I'm going to give you plenty of reason to laugh at me right now. And that's because I just got done doing a nice gameplay video, about 45 minutes worth, all narrated and everything. And got done and realized that my mic was muted. So none of that took. So I've gone back and reloaded the save, and we're starting over. So anyway, another thing I learned, other than making sure your microphone is functional, is when we built these miners out here, when you if you're using controller and you want to build this advanced miner, let's say, it tells you L1 to rotate, which L1 I think is what they're calling the left bumper, but that doesn't work. It's not working at all. But the scroll wheel on your mouse will rotate your item around when you're wanting to build it. So we can build that miner, and you see those little arrows with the output. So now, then we can go over here and we want to build the forge. So we can place it down here and we can rotate it around where the input kind of faces the output from the miner. Then we can place it down. And now, when we want to do the conveyor belt, we can do a much neater, nice straight line, from our extractor there, our miner, to the forge. Then the next thing we're going to want is a storage container. So then we can build that right here. And once again, I'm going to use my mouse and rotate it around to fix it just like that. Now we just got the build recipe for the larger container, which I feel kind of dumb. Like they make me build that one, and then they give me a build recipe for the bigger one. So then what we're going to do is immediately come here and dismantle that and build the bigger one. So the bigger one has two inputs, a couple outputs, and a lot more space. So we're going to build that right here. Not enough iron plate. So I'm going to run back in here where we can stay kind of high and dry and not run out of oxygen. And we're going to craft some iron plate. And we'll send a drone back out to finish that bit of construction for us. Now, because I had to reload a save, that's why you're seeing in the top of the screen, it's telling me to use a water pump, and to connect to the tree greenhouse with a pipe. And that's because on the save where my audio wasn't recording, I had built the greenhouse and the pump, and then we were getting all that done, which we're going to do all over again. And for some reason, the game is still putting that up there as my next step. Now, right now, we're going to get, actually, it tells me I still need another iron plate. So we're going to make a few of them here, because we're going to find out that we're going to use a ton of those. But one thing I've noticed is once we get these storages built that and we rotate that around. And let's, oh, I need iron beams. Okay. We're being forgetful. So iron beams take 3 iron plate and some iron rods. So and to build this, we need 4 iron beams. 1 iron beam takes 3 plates, and it looks like 5 rods. So we need a bunch of rods. So we can sit here, and it looks like we can just click them as fast as we can. Would be nice if you just had a multiplier on there where you could say, I need to craft 15 or something. But it doesn't have that. So let's try to make those 4 beams. And now does that give us enough to make our bigger storage? Oh, it's a conveyor splitter. That's a different item. No, we need 4 more iron plate now. And we don't have enough ingots. So that's because we don't have, they're all stuck in the forge. So we're going to take all those out. And now we can make those iron plates. So that should give us everything we need to build that large storage container. So we're going to run out there and do that really quick. Because right now we have a little bottleneck. We have all this ore coming into the refiner, the forge, and then the forge is just making stuff, but then it fills up and the stuff isn't coming out. So we now can put that down, and then we can put a conveyor belt. We'll put that coming out of that to there. And of course it tells us we're short on iron plate because I get absent-minded. I don't always make enough stuff. So back out. And let's make our conveyor. Go from there to there. So now we're going to have ingots filling up our storage container. Now, another thing I figured out is when you come in here to craft things, they are immediately available to you. What's in that storage. You don't have to go out there and grab it to get in your personal inventory. Now I'm going to make some more food cans because it looks like I'm getting hungry. And I'm going to eat a couple of those and get my health up to a sensible level. Like, just get it full. And another thing, I think it would be a good idea maybe to build more. But the next thing we have to build is that water pump we put down by the water. So that needs an iron plate, 4 of them, 2 cement, and 2 rotors. So the cement is easy enough. We can make that from rocks that we have. Although we need to send our drone over here and get some more rock. So that should be enough rock to do us for a little while. All right, now water pump also needs iron plate and rotors. I think rotors are made over here. And a rotor needs 2 cable, 2 rubber belts. So the rubber belts take 2 rubber. And so we're going to need 4 rubber to make 2 rubber belts. So let's make our 2 rubber belts. So we have that. And we need 2 cables. Now cables, copper ingots. And a cable takes 1 ingot. So we need 2 copper ingots, and we had just enough copper for that. So we're going to make our 2 cables. And now that leaves us needing, okay, that just gets us 1 cable. And I believe we needed 2 rotors. So I think we need 2 more cables, 2 more rubber belts. So the rubber belts should be easy enough. And we got those, but now the cable, we need copper ingots. The copper ingots need copper ore, and we are plumb out. So we have to see if we have some of these oxygen cans in the inventory, because we have to go get some more copper. And a lot of the copper is farther away now. Another thing we're going to do is put a lot of this inventory items, like we have all this iron ore. I think if we add it to the forge, then it will create more ingots. But like the forge is full. So we're going to have to figure out how to get more in there, but they're constantly coming in. So we're going to just get them out of our inventory for now. And we'll put them in a storage, and we could just handcraft the ingots to get rid of the ore. And so to move stuff automatically, you can double click, and the controller it's A, and on it would be the left click on your mouse if you're using a mouse. So now we have to figure out what we needed to make those oxygen capsules, and iron plate and quartz. So let's make some more iron plate. Okay, now we can make 5 of those things. That's going to give us enough air. Now we have to run and find some copper. And one place I discovered while I was doing the recording, which ended up being ditched for technical reasons, was there was a cave up here that was plumb full of it. Now I have to find that cave again. I know it was up this mountain, and it had tons of copper in there. And now I can't seem to find it. So I think I've gone absent-minded again. So anyway, it looks like you could run way up there if you have enough air to last. But there was more copper down around this corner as well. Looks like I found some right here. And there's an iron, but I don't need to be picking up iron. Now it tells me I'm low on oxygen, so we're going to grab one of those. And we'll grab the sulfur while we're here, because no doubt we're going to have need of that eventually. And I think we just found that big old cave that's full of sulfur and tons of copper. So we're going to gather a lot of this copper, take it back with us. And if we have to pop another oxygen bottle to stay out here a little longer. And we found a diamond. I'm assuming there will be use for that later. And we'll take another oxygen bottle. I guess that's why we made them. Now, the one thing about these types of games that always makes me laugh is I can't imagine you being on some, alien, inhospitable planet of some sort. But then, everywhere you turn, you have chunks of minerals just lying on the ground to pick up. And God, there's pieces of iron, pieces of cobalt, pieces. In reality, you can't imagine walking around on Earth and finding stuff like that without having to, mine for it or dig for it. But for gameplay reasons, maybe it makes sense. But we got enough copper to make some of those ingots and to finish what else we were working on. Which was, we need 2 more cable. So I can make the cable. And that allows us to make another rotor. So now we just need 3 iron plates and we'll be able to make that pump. And we have that. And now let's let me quiet this phone ringing there. All right. Now let's pull our drone up. Go down here to the water edge. And let's build that water pump. I think we have to place it down in the water, right? So there we are. We have a water purifier and now a water pump. So now the next thing to build is this greenhouse. So I need more iron plate, more glass, and more of the organic stuff, which is growing here. So we'll take all that. Now, more iron plate. Go ahead and make those. And the glass pane needs silica, which is made from quartz, which I don't think we have much quartz around. So let's fly out here a bit and see if we can locate any loose quartz. There is a large bit of it right there, which is going to need a miner to access it. So we can do that. or we can find some loose pieces to build real quick with, but it doesn't look like we're going to be so lucky. So what we have is we're going to build another advanced miner up here. But we need 4 gears. And a gear is some iron rods, which we already have. Okay, now we need 4 more iron rods because we used some of those up to make the gears. So there we go. We got a miner that we can build. So let's go up the hill here. And let's build that advanced miner. Now, we want to rotate it just so. And it sunk it down into the ground. But there's a solution to that. You simply take our multi-tool and we can start mining, and it basically removes the terrain around that, or at least it's going to give us access to the front of that to attach the conveyor belt to it. All right, so we got that cleared out. Now we're going to come down here. We have this storage container, but what I need to do is, possibly, I think the storage might be full. So let's see. Yeah, it is plumb full. We got all this ore in there, which doesn't need to be in there. Now more ingots are coming into store. So I was going to route a conveyor in here to bring quartz down from up on the mountain, but maybe we'll build another storage just for that, because it looks like we're going to fill that one up pretty quick. So here we need 10 iron plate to build a small storage. So let's make those 10 plate really quick. I can't remember. The bigger storage was... I needed iron beams and twice as many iron plates. So we're just going to make a small one for now, which is going to get us something to store the quartz in. So we can put that right here. And now we're going to need a few more iron plate, because we're going to have some for the conveyors. So let's go. Make a few of those. So that should give us enough to make a conveyor. So now let's go ahead and get that built. Start that there. Come up here. Connect there. And what's kind of neat is that it automatically dug a tunnel through the terrain for us. And now we have plenty of quartz coming down the pipeline here to our container. And that's going to allow us to make that silica, which we need in order to make glass. And we're also going to need 3 more cement, so might as well make that. We're waiting on the quartz to show up. And the quartz should start making its way into the storage here any second. There it is. So yeah, how much silica do we need now? We need 10 glass panes. So we need 10 silica. And there's our 10 silica. And then let's make 10 glass panes. Okay, that should give us all of that. Now we got enough to make the greenhouse. So we'll put that over here near the water pump. Now there's a water input on here. We probably want to rotate that around, kind of have it facing toward the pump so we don't have the pipes running too crazy. Now we need to connect the water pump to the greenhouse. So we need to go down here and we're going to need a pipe and we're going to need a pipe hub. And I we need some more iron plate. All right, that should be enough iron plate. Now let's go over here. Let's make a pipe coming out of here. Now you can't connect it straight there. The only issue is that we're going to need, we'll just make it going that far for now. Then we need one of these. We need that pipe hub to connect there. Then we need a pipe to go from there into there. Now we need a ground fertilizer. And the reason we just hooked that hub up, and now we're going to need to obviously clear the ground out of the way to make the end of the pipe accessible. But now we can take and divert water a couple different ways from the water pump. So now let's see what we need to build that fertilizer, and we need to cement. So let's make that cement real quick. Make a couple extra just for good measure. Now let's come back over here. Build that ground fertilizer. And we need to rotate that around because we need to bring water into it. So we'll put it right there. And we're going to place a pipe from there into there. So now we've got water coming from here. We've got coming into the greenhouse and water coming into there. But everything, we're a little bit low on power because we've only got this one wind turbine up here. So I think we need to think about, you know, some more power. Now, we would need some cobalt ore and 2 iron beams to make a solar panel, which would give us a little more power than the turbine. But I'm not sure where we can find some more cobalt. I know I found one piece over this direction. So I'm probably going to find more over there. And let's send the drone over a little farther than we can walk. There's one. And I think, yeah, we got enough cobalt. Now we just need the iron beams. So run back here and make a couple iron beams, and we'll get us a solar panel built. Now the iron beams take, all right, 3 plates and 5 rods. So we need 10 rods. And about what, 6 plates? So that should give us enough stuff to make a couple iron beams. All right, now, do we have enough? Yes, we do. Let's go outside and put a solar panel down next to. All right, now we got a little more power generating now. Let's go check out our. No, we don't need to build another. There we go. Well, we got a little more power, but it still says we're low power. But my guess is that it looks like it's dark out, and I bet that solar panel doesn't work so well at night. So maybe we need to put another turbine or 2 down as well. So let me see what we need for that. 3 more iron plate and 3 more iron rods. Okay, now, where were we? Wanting to put, we have a large solar panel available, but right now we're going to put another turbine down just because it's dark out, and then we'll work on more solar panels as well. But we're going to put this turbine down, and that should help our power needs a bit. Let's go check over here. Now, it's not giving us the red on power. So I think, well, we're a little low there. But I think when the sun comes up, we'll be okay because we have this panel. And then we have the recipe for larger panels. And so our next and we have to build a planet analyzer. So let's see what that entails. There's a refiner. So I think we can have, cobalt and uranium ores coming through when we start discovering where to find those. Now, these two machines look interesting. Assembling machine for putting two parts to make rest. So I guess we can auto craft certain items. And a part producer. So we won't be having to use these benches as much. We'll be able to just create, more items kind of automated. So that's kind of what we have to look forward to building. And this analyzer thing, which I have to even see where that is. We have larger warehouses for storage and glass panes and cables and cement. So I'm thinking we go up here and build some of these assembly machines and part producers, which will create more of the parts we need to build some of this warehouse. Then we have I'm looking for that other planet analyzer. Needs an antenna, 4 iron plate, and a computer. So let's see what it takes to build a computer. We need 10 circuit boards and 5 cables. So that means we're going to need a lot of copper to make those cables. And the circuit boards, I'm not sure what we're going to need for that. So we have to even figure that one out. Circuit board needs a copper plate and silica. So we need a lot of copper and a lot of copper to make what we need to make. So that's what we're gonna work on our next episode. So we will see you back tomorrow for that one. And if you found this video even the slightest bit entertaining or helpful or anywhere in between, just drop me a like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.